Hey everyone, welcome to our next Milwaukee Road episode. We're doing an operations session, and this is the freight train that we were driving at the end of the last episode. He is headed over to Avery with his consist. Today we're going to start over in the Avery Yard and organize the cars there so that we can start accepting trains and dispatching trains. Okay, we're over in the Avery Yard, and we are going to go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So let's go ahead and put up our tags and see what we're working with. So we have cars that are headed to Chicago on the east side of the layout. And then it looks like we have some cars to interchange at Hagen with the Northern Pacific. Here's some more Chicago cars. Then we have some cars that are being routed along the Milwaukee to Avery and then off to the Utah and Rocky Mountain. These cars here for Perkins are going over to Coeur d'Alene. These cars are, let's see, these are all Perkins. And then we have a car going to Moscow. So we have some Moscow going to the grocery distributors. And let's see, we have Moscow. Then we have Tenson. And then we have some more, these are mistagged. Hang on for a second. Okay, I just fixed these. These aren't going to Moscow. The Valley Grain Elevator is located down in Riggins, so these three are headed to Riggins. Here's some more Tenson cars, and then we have some Moscow cars finishing up this string. Coming up this way, we have some cars that are traveling through the Milwaukee Road to Avery, and then they're going to go on the Utah and Rocky Mountain over to Portland. So that's what these cars are doing. And then starting with this car, we've got Avery to Utah, Rocky Mountain, Boise. So these are going down to Boise. And let's fix this one. Okay, this one is also going to Boise. And then we have Milwaukee, Seattle. So that means that these cars will remain on the Milwaukee Road and travel to Seattle. Milwaukee Road, for our purposes, has trackage rights on the Utah and Rocky Mountains, so they will actually go via Utah and Rocky Mountain trackage past Spokane, and there's an I-portal up there in where the Seattle portal is, and it will connect with another Milwaukee Road layout that will facilitate the movement of these cars towards Seattle. So that's what's happening there. I know the Milwaukee Road did have trackage all the way to Seattle, but since we don't have much of the Milwaukee Road modeled, we're going to take advantage of the Utah and Rocky Mountain Railroad for the time being until these other layouts are built. And then maybe at some time in the future, we can actually run a train from Avery to Seattle on the Milwaukee Road itself. And with that said, that's where these strings are going. And then our last string of cars is right here. These are going to Chicago on the Milwaukee Road. Here's another car going down to Boise, and then Chicago. And then we have Milwaukee, Seattle. And then we have some Boise cars. So that is the makeup of these strings at this point. So I think our first activity here is going to be to get all the Milwaukee Seattle cars together, all the Milwaukee Chicago cars together, and then we'll deal with the Utah and Rocky Mountain cars. So with that said, here's our switcher. Check out the inside here. There we go. Okay. And here we go. Here, let's take these out. This is a freight that has come from Chicago, and he is now arriving. Let's pause our work here and help him get on his way. So first things first, these locomotives are going to go over and put in storage for until their next assignment. The time is 9:47 in the morning. And now he is off, headed towards Seattle on the Milwaukee Road in Tacoma. Avery is the ending point for electrification in the Rocky Mountain division of the Milwaukee Road. If the Utah and Rocky Mountain Railroad was connected to this layout, which it will be with the Module 1 update, we could then follow this train onto that layout, and it would drive on its way up through Spokane to the Seattle portals. And there's an I-portal up there, as I mentioned previously, that would allow it to connect to another Milwaukee Road layout as it makes its way west. Okay, and with that, we'll come back to our locomotive here, and let's get the tags up, because we are grabbing the Seattle cars. Keep these down here for now. Okay, so we're gonna temporarily put the Seattle cars on this track. Must be on a grade here. Okay. Let's go over and see what else we have over here. These are all Chicago. Portland. Here's some more Chicago. Okay, so it looks like we're pretty much set as far as Seattle goes. So let's go now after the Chicago cars. We'll start with this string here. And we can connect that string to this string here. And then we can pull this out. I'm thinking that what we can do is pull that string and bring the Chicago cars over here, and we'll put them on this track here. Our time is 10 o'clock in the morning. Now we're going to come up here. Okay, so we're going to come up and grab these cars here first. Now, let's go down here. Let's see, he wants this track right here. Okay, the brakeman does his thing. Now, these are all Chicago back here. And then these, we got a couple of Chicagos here. And I see a bunch of Seattles. Okay, so let's see. Why don't we pull this forward? Let's bring this forward. Make use of this track here. We're going to break this string down because there are cars that are going to different areas. Okay, that's good. I was just thinking I didn't want it to go there. Okay, we're back in business. Here's our first car that should be broken out. Okay, we're gonna move him over a track. Uh-oh. We had a derailment, and it's all fixed now, and we're going to start this over again. We'll stop the car right around this area here. Now we'll pick up our Chicago string and continue to the next car that we need to break out. Brakeman does his thing. And here's our next set of cars. Here's the Seattle. We'll connect the Seattle up with the Seattle cars. Now we'll push the Seattle cars back. Okay, now let's take a look over here. What do we have going here? This is all Northern Pacific. And then we have Chicago. And then these are all Utah and Rocky Mountain. These are Utah and Rocky Mountain. Okay. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, let's take this string and we're going to bring it over here. And we'll put it on this track right here. For now. Just moving these out of the way, and when we're ready to dispatch trains, I think I'm going to move the Seattle cars to where we're going to park these and push these back up to the yard, because that'll be the starting point for the trek west, or east, I'm sorry, on the layout. And now we're going to go back and deal with the remaining Chicago cars. The time is 10:30 in the morning. And that is where we're going to leave it for this episode. Next episode, we'll check on our freight that's headed towards Avery. We're getting within an hour of the Olympian arriving in Avery. It'll arrive around 11:30-ish or so. And we should be able to have the car organization in the yard completed in the next episode, and we can look to dispatching a train eastbound to Chicago and a train westbound to Seattle. So with that, if you like this type of content, I highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Your subscription is free and it will help the channel. It supports the channel, and it will also ensure that this type of content remains on YouTube. If you like this episode, please hit like. Your likes help us grow the audience, and please leave your comments. I do review the comments and I will respond. And of course, if you'd like to be notified when the next episode is released, make sure that you hit the bell. And with that, we will see you on the next one.